Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
And what's it gonna do?
It doesn't matter how you're doing. Woo! Wheeling, dealing, limousine like jet flying.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Would you please shut the hell up?
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the human rubble.
What up, what up? Welcome to episode 43 of Keep The Kayfabe. I'm Mike, sitting here with my boys, ready to talk some wrestling. Heads continue to roll in the WWE. We had another slew of firings as the roster gets whittled away. We're going to find out what superstars we're told gets to step in, and we'll break down where they might land and, you know, just overall probably trashing of the WWE and what a employee-friendly company it truly is. Plus, Master of Games, Matt Michelson, has put together a terrific game called According to Vince. I can't wait to see what he has in store for us. It probably revolves all around Vince McMahon and some of the odd things that he does, but I can't wait to learn more. So you're definitely going to want to stick around and hear what Matt has in store for us there. But before we get into all that fun stuff, let's get acclimated really quick. Over in Glendale, somebody who keeps it regal, Steve Grobschmidt. How are you, Grabby?
I'm going to bloody well tell you that I'm not qualified to speak pro wrestling because apparently Charlie doesn't think so. So listen here, sunshine. I'm going to lay out here. I'm not going to talk anymore.
Oh, is that your own promo or?
That was half William Regal, half not having a promo because according to you, I've never watched wrestling before.
But your picks
Nice.
last week, 2 weeks ago, were rough.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know who it was. I figured it was Steven Regal.
It was half-hearted.
It was very good, Steven Regal. I picked on it right away, and it was
a good
very
mashup.
good. Most definitely. Steve, you do a very good job improving on your feet. You are a born
He should be a comedian.
promo cutter.
Oh, shucks.
All right. Well, let's get down to Bayview. Talk to someone who keeps it freshly squeezed. Matt Michelson. How are you, Matt?
Strowman.
Someone's gonna get
unemployment.
these hands.
Yeah, get these
Yeah.
unemployment.
Who's gonna
checks.
get these hands now?
He's gonna get these hands in 90 days.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna get these checks. Okay, so
Unbelievable.
that was a hint of who just recently got released by the WWE. We'll break down the rest of the list right after we introduce the man. Oh my God! It's Charlie Michael.
NWO. This week I don't got much this week. NWO.
New world order.
New world order.
New world order.
New world order.
And that's without any turntables. That's pretty
Rock.
Charlie's
Triple H.
Triple H. I gotta next week I'll send it in. I got a kick-ass. A buddy of mine sent me a promo of the week. It was The Rock, and I think he was I forget what's the pay-per-view match, and he was like imitating like Undertaker, Triple H,
He's doing all of
Austin.
them.
Yeah, Kurt Angle. It's fucking hilarious, dude. I'll send it to
Great.
you guys, and we'll do this promo of the week next week. It was so good, and it's like you see that promo and you get nothing like that in Raw today, dude. And this is like
Absolutely.
it was like a regular week in Raw in those days.
I think
You know?
if The Rock had been one notch better, he'd be LA Knight.
Oh, Sally. Did you hear that? Oh, speaking of, did you hear that that take from Mark Henry on Busted Open like a week or two ago, telling LA Knight to quit imitating The Rock and get his own
Oh
his
wow!
own gimmick? Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
Now we get the honest Mark Henry.
yep, yep.
That's how you get some heat going when you don't have two sticks to rub together when you're
Yeah.
NXT.
When you
Mark Henry.
when you kissed ass all those years thinking Vince is going to give you that dream job, then you don't get it.
You're just not white enough.
Yep, you're not. There's just something that doesn't make me want to hire you, Mark. I can't put my hand on it, but you don't seem like the rest of the guys here we have in corporate.
Oh.
But you're a good wrestler.
You're too off color for the company.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
I just can't put my hand on it. I mean, I could. I just I'm choosing not to because I'd rather not.
The hand.
All right. Well, let's. The hand wiped out another strong slew of wrestlers. We just had a big firing this past April, and right around the corner, not more than 2 months later, in June here, the WWE releases a bunch of big time superstars. At least in our eyes, very talented,
big
but
time, a couple.
One. Okay.
Santana
right.
Garrett's big time.
Yeah,
we're not trying to kick them while they're down here, Charlie.
She's a trumper.
Trying to build them up.
She's a trumper.
Oh boy.
Yep. Which makes it shocking that they didn't keep her.
Who are you talking about right now?
Santana Garrett. She posted a video a week or two ago on Instagram where she went to some Trump rally boat thing where everybody had Trump 2020 flags and Biden sucks flags, and she like focused in on that and all that shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Those people are maniacs.
So basically, fuck her. I could care less. She lost a job
for sure. Yeah, they can get to step in as well as that. Drake referee.
Yeah, Drake. Yeah,
he's been talking mad shit. He has a couple good interviews. I heard clips of him.
By good,
yeah,
you just mean entertaining, or do you mean actually good?
Just talking shit. Acting like he's not a QAnon guy and all this bullshit.
Victim.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was, dude. That's perfect what it was. He's canceled. The victim. Yeah,
he was canceled.
Yeah, the cancel culture got him. He's not like that. He's not like that. He loves he made sure he loves Jesus Christ. He made sure he put that in there.
Of course.
That's Joey Ryan's. That's Joey Ryan's current shtick now is that he's born again. Yeah.
Oh wow. It's too late now.
Break glass, be born again when there's trouble.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Mike.
It's too bad.
We went off script there right off the gate.
Too bad Grizzly Smith didn't follow that motto.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We might have to save that discussion for another podcast.
Yeah, we will.
Where we can review the latest Dark Side of the Rings. They've been on fire lately, but this last one of Dark Side of the Ring, where they focus on Grizzly Smith and his family. It truly was a new depth of TV and level that Dark Side of the Ring has never gone before, and it was an incredible episode. But I mean, just make sure your mind's right, and it's a very, very sad story. Nobody should go through that kind of shit.
Your mind's got to be right, dude, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, okay. So let's get to more bad news. Let's go to some of the firings. We hinted at Braun Strowman, who was recently released. Kind of sad that his last match was against Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. He got put over. Not that it meant anything. He was quickly released, and they really haven't been writing anything for him since he left the Wyatt family way back when. Were you guys surprised at all by this release, that he was on this set?
Yeah, I was definitely surprised. I don't know that, I'm totally shocked much anymore by anything that happens in the world of WWE, but this was definitely a surprising name to see. I think I was listening to Wrestling Observer Radio today, and Dave Meltzer had made the comment, obviously WWE's been big into cutting costs this year to try and maximize profit, which is crazy considering just the state of the company in general. But I kind of heard mixed reviews. Some of them were talking about how this was done as sort of a message to the rest of the roster to step it up. But people could interpret that easily that way. You could spin any of the releases we've seen as that, right? So I don't necessarily know that was the case. If you look at it from a cost perspective, as we like to say in corporate America, Braun Strowman, from a few different sources that I've listened to recently, was getting paid quite a bit. I think his salary was
Oh,
about
yeah.
1.2 million a year, something
Yeah,
like that.
just base, not even anything, all the other incentives.
Yeah, which is a lot of money by any standards. So, when you start thinking about, okay, who are some of the big ticket wrestlers we have on the roster that we can get rid of to cut costs? If you look at that main event level talent, I think Braun Strowman was kind of the obvious choice. Mike, you just alluded to him not really having done much since he left the Wyatt family. There was that run he went on. I can't remember if it was 2016, 2017, when he first kind of broke out as a singles competitor.
He was hot.
He was hot. He was a great monster heel. I actually, was interested in his storyline on Raw. It felt very different, fresh. I could have sworn he was going to be WWE champion and maybe be the guy to beat Brock Lesnar at first. But, things unfolded as they usually do with WWE, and that wasn't entirely the case. And then after that, his booking just kind of spiraled out of the control until we got to the swamp fight with him and Wyatt family Bray Wyatt, even though he was supposed to be the Fiend. And I think that was the moment where even I knew, I'm like, yeah, this guy's toast. And sure enough, we see him get released this past week. So was I surprised? Any release is surprising, but this one I would say was definitely a little more surprising than most.
Yeah, I think the writing was on the wall after he was tag team champion with a cameraman's kid at WrestleMania.
Oh, Nicholas.
What was that kid's name?
Nicholas,
right.
Call, yeah.
Nicholas is probably going to be making more money than Braun Strowman at these wrestling cons when he grows up, signing autographs and pictures, photo ops with them. But anybody else have any comments to make about the release of Braun Strowman?
Yeah, Matt covered it pretty well. I think what's surprising is, that's one of the homegrown ones. That's always surprising versus guys that made it big in Impact or other places, So is anything, like Matt said, is anything shocking anymore? No, especially the way he kind of they handed him the title during the beginning of COVID for just unmemorable run, and that's been the high point. I mean, the Shane thing, meh. And then I think it's surprising just because usually they get, there's some modicum of like, oh yeah, that's some mid-carder or whatever, but he was probably the highest level surprise there's been in a while. Well, that and then the next name I'm sure you'll bring up.
Right. Yeah, the next name, it might be a blessing for this individual. This was one of the biggest stars in NXT, wrestled amazing matches. Aleister Black. Charlie, was Aleister Black in another wrestling promotion before NXT? Do you remember seeing him ever?
I never saw him in anything, but I know he'd been around overseas.
Yeah, he was. His name was Tommy End, and he was. I'll admit, I don't remember what specific groups he was with, but he was one of those guys that was well respected, and kind of when UK, when they made all these partnerships with UK and brought him into NXT, he was kind of a highly regarded pick. Like, that dude can wrestle. And I mean, obviously, those of us that saw him on NXT from the get-go, like, saw that. I mean, he had the killer intro.
Yeah. That music was badass.
That black mask. Yeah, and the black mask is just such a simple but vicious finisher. Yeah. I mean, it's so great. This is the biggest crime of them all, is that I used to say back then, like, okay, even Vince can't screw up Aleister Black. Like, he is the.
He can screw
oh, I know. But I mean, even I fooled myself in the NXT days. Like, not missed with this guy, and they missed with him, which is just freaking just speaks volumes about the state of that company, because this guy had everything and they blew it.
I feel like a lot of the wrestlers in NXT, quite frankly, would get over immediately if WWE literally did nothing. Like, all they'd have to do is move them up to the main roster and put them on TV.
And leave it. Yeah.
And they would be wildly successful. But, in true WWE style, that never seems to be the case. They always have an idea for a storyline or a different character that they want that person to take on. And it always just kind of ends up this way. So, yeah, it's unfortunate to see. Quite frankly, I wasn't totally shocked by this, just because I feel like Aleister Black has been the talk of the internet as far as when is he going to be on TV? When are they going to give him a good storyline? So it's good to see that they finally made a decision in one way or another by releasing him. And I think it's got to be good for him too, right? He finally gets to go to another promotion. I think every promotion out there is going to be chomping at the bit to scoop him up. And I know AEW in particular has been more selective about ex-WWE guys that they pick up. So I'm curious. I wouldn't be surprised if they picked up Aleister Black.
Oh yeah, they'll get him.
He's one of the few that's been released where I'm like, yeah, this guy would be
no brainer.
AEW.
Yeah.
I've also heard some reviews talk about how he'd be great in New Japan, especially because they're really short on foreign talent right now. But selfishly, I'd love to see him in AEW. I guess we'll see where he shakes out.
I think I forgot to say this, the most shocking thing about his was that it wasn't okay. They sat on him for months after his wife was dropped, but then they actually he like was involved in the main event on SmackDown, and then the next week they cut him. It's like the timing is weird. It's like, why'd they do that? And it makes you wonder how much thought was put behind all this. That if you knew you were going to get rid of the guy, why would you have him mess up with your main event of your top show? It's just, that makes no sense. But neither does all of their writing.
Right. It is very, very confusing. Like you guys said, how do you mess up Aleister Black? I'm not even a big metal fan at all, but this guy is just pure metal. And his music, like you said, Charlie, is awesome. I like get into it. I start like headbanging to it, and that's not even my favorite type. He honestly, his music matches his wrestling persona and style almost more perfect than any other wrestler I've ever seen, with that intro and the striking ability that he has. When they brought him up to the main roster, remember when he was paired up with Ricochet and they actually tagged for a little while to get him introduced in the main roster?
And they were a great
That was actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
That was actually really fun. I was like, they got the aerials and acrobatics of Ricochet. Plus, Aleister Black can do some of that stuff. He does those moonsaults and stuff off the ropes. But yeah, with the striking, it was kind of a cool matchup. And even if we had to see those two in action, that's what they had to do to get him on TV. I was fine with it. So yeah, I feel for the guy. And they bring his wife back to the company, who is just fired. And then when she's back in, they fire him.
That's not true. I don't think.
Oh no?
I don't know that that's been confirmed. I don't think she's with the WWE.
Okay.
No, there were rumors circulating that they were talking about potentially bringing her back, but after he was released, I doubt that's going to happen.
Okay, gotcha. I must have had my stories crossed.
No, that was a big rumor.
Gotcha. All right. Well, another big name that was released was Andrade, another former NXT champion. Anybody who holds the NXT belt really doesn't have a good, promising career in the WWE main roster. It seems like it's the black mark on somebody. They're going to snub you. They're going to bury you when you get to the main roster. I don't know if it's personal because Vince, doesn't believe in the promotion itself. But Andrade, again, a guy that can do a lot of things, has a good look, good personality. They told him to get the step in. He is scheduled to wrestle at Triple Mania against Kenny Omega. Is that confirmed as well?
Yep. But for sure. He's wrestling against him.
think. And he was signed at AEW. Am I correct there as well?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's in July they're wrestling.
Yeah, he debuted on Friday with the AEW.
Yeah,
awesome.
It was probably the most uneven debut I think I've ever seen. I don't know if you guys happen to watch it or not.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah,
I did.
So for our listeners and for you guys, since you haven't seen it yet, I'm probably not spoiling anything by telling you how it went down.
No worries.
Steve spoiled it with this text.
That's true.
It's all right. I'm just learning this wrestling thing.
For our listeners who aren't on our group text, which is everybody, I just saw the word Andrade appear.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what?
Confused. But then I checked the time and remembered what day it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Right away, that gave it away. So what ended up happening was on Dynamite this past Friday, there was a segment where I believe Mark Henry was out there talking.
Yeah, I
Vicky
heard that.
Guerrero
Yeah.
interrupts him. doing her "excuse me" shtick, which the crowd was not into at all.
Yeah, she needs to lose that, dude.
Yeah,
That's played out.
that gimmick's got to change for
Yeah.
sure. But she essentially introduced Andrade, but it was in that real shrill voice she has. And quite frankly, I almost didn't even understand what she was saying, except for the fact that I knew what was coming. So, and there was no entrance music. All of a sudden, Andrade walks out of the tunnel, stands there in his shades, looks out at the crowd, adjusts his jacket, and the crowd is just blown away. It was interesting though. It was a weird pop. It was like a slow build, like, oh
Like,
my
who
god,
is this?
Yeah, to some degree, kind of who was this? I think the one really good part of this segment was Andrade cut a promo talking about how he's now in AEW, and his promo was really solid. And
Yeah.
I remember back in his NXT days, his English definitely wasn't what it is now. And my understanding is he's been working on that over the last couple of years, and it really showed here.
Okay.
So now that he's cutting promos, I saw him in a completely different way than I ever did in NXT or WWE. So hopefully that is a good start for him in AEW. I think once we see him start to wrestle and bring back that NXT style, that'll start to get him back over with fans again, but we'll see.
Any other thoughts on Andrade going to AEW, guys?
Should be good. We'll see what happens.
No, he's a
I
solid
look forward
hand.
to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
he's
he'll-
got that sweet double knee thing he does, and the guys in the corner is awesome.
Yeah, he'll be solid.
Yeah, with the more expanding shows at AEW, they're gonna have a really good balanced roster. I think.
That's what I heard something too today. That they were saying that I think that they got to pick some of these guys up. They're gonna have, if that second show is supposed to be a major show, because they're gonna need you can't. No one's gonna watch Sunny Kiss and Janela every week on that on that Friday night show. So they have to. So chances are they're going to be signing some guys when they get released to help build up the roster for that second show. So I was like, oh, that makes
most
sense.
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I'm a little concerned that they're almost picking up too many people. Like the roster's getting super bloated now. But to your point, Charlie, I don't want to watch Joey Janela and Sunny Kiss or like the Hybrid 2.
Exactly.
Whatever.
That's what Elevation's for. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Yep. That's what then Elevation, AEW Dark. They're gonna have 4 different shows.
Yeah. But that's every tier gets kind of their, and it kind of lends to their win-loss thing too, because it's like you won't see somebody on Dynamite for a while, and then you'll be like, holy crap, how did they get like a 12-1 record?
Exactly.
So it's like it's kind of a nice way to build that up.
Yeah, it's a great loophole when they want to be able to pull like classic pro wrestling booking tropes that we've seen in the past and kind of not get around the ranking system, but if it's like, oh shoot, we want this person in this position, they need some wins, because we have a ranking system, we need to honor it. So,
and I think there was some cynicism. I know I was listening at the time, Busted Open. I think Bully Ray, of course, believe it or not, being cynical, but about like how can they make wins and losses matter? Is that just a gimmick? And in some ways it is, but I do think that I would say they've lived up to it probably about as good as you can in wrestling right now, like because they do put some attention to it. They don't really do 50-50 booking and that. So I think they're certainly doing a lot better than the competition.
Definitely. Well, there's a couple names left on the list. We don't need to go into too much depth about them, but we do want to send our thoughts and prayers to Lana, Ruby Riott, and Buddy Murphy. I hope they land on their feet. I mean, Lana in AEW would make sense just because we all know that she's married to Rusev. And, it might bring just, a better, more depth to his character. They're not going to be, pimping her out to other wrestlers.
Yeah, no, she'll just be a manager, which is good.
So, that'll be good for them, good for the relationship. Everyone's happy. Ruby Riott was kind of a surprise to me. She was pretty loved by, a lot of that counterculture. She just had the look kind of like Aleister Black, just, covered in tattoos, different. It's kind of like the Fringe fans. But is that sellable? as
No, to me-
WWE's trying to.
To me, she's
Yeah.
changed the channel. Go make a
Mhm.
pizza. Go look at your phone. Oh, let me cruise my
Right.
laptop while she's on. She's not.
Mhm.
She's nothing. I mean, she's nothing special to me.
She's-
But you know,
Yeah.
She's definitely a niche market in the niche crowd.
Oh,
of
absolutely.
wrestling.
Yeah, 100%. I do remember seeing her in NXT and thinking she was pretty awesome.
Really?
When she was still up and coming.
kind of like what's Shotzi?
Yeah.
No,
Shotzi,
come
Shotzi,
on.
Shotzi before Shotzi.
Yeah, I think Ruby's work rate was a little bit better. She was a little
Oh
bit
yeah,
more
she's way
aggressive
better.
moves and
Yeah.
stuff.
So
So
yeah.
I think I don't remember if Brian Alvarez said this earlier today, but it would be cool to see Ruby Riott end up in AEW. I think she'd fill out that women's division pretty
Yeah.
well. Granted, her style would probably change a little bit, but for the better, one would hope. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, they could bring her in, which would be good too. They could bring her in as a face,
Mhm.
and then she could go at Brett, which would be good. Yeah, if they need some more of that, you know, need some women faces that are, you know, that are American besides, you know, that are American because you know I think Thais, she's Brazilian, so
And Sheeta.
yep, Sheeta, yep. I think Sheeta's gonna come back
Plus-
with a new look. You see that
Yeah, I heard that.
little teaser? Yeah. Cut her hair.
And a lot of AEW wrestling fans are just hardcore wrestling fans from the
Oh, yeah.
indies, and that's where Ruby, cut her teeth and was popular. So maybe she would gravitate to the AEW culture there.
Yeah, I think I
But,
could see
yeah.
her in NWA. I could see her in AEW.
Some guys are saying that she'd probably be best in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, really Impact.
Yeah.
I think she'll probably have
Impact.
zero trouble. Yeah, she like any
Yeah.
one of those that's trying to burgeon their women's division, she'll probably get a job in like the 90 days instantly.
Mhm.
I'd say
Oh,
so.
wow, yeah,
She'll
she's-
definitely land on her feet.
Oh wow, she was over in Chikara, so she must be a pretty good worker.
Heidi Lovelace or something like that.
Yeah, that was her name
Yeah.
over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she might.
Nice.
Yeah, get rid of the green hair. I think if she gets rid of the green hair and shit like that, I think she could do something good.
No offense to anybody with green hair out there. We love all of our listeners.
You know, one quick thing on Buddy Murphy. I think that's another guy that'll have. I mean, I don't know. Like, not everybody can go to AEW, so I don't know that he'll wind up there. But
Mhm.
he's another guy that'll probably do pretty darn well other places. Like when they handed him the ball just a short time, that dude was a hell of a wrestler. And like he got his little moment in the sun on SmackDown, and then like everything else, they just quickly forgot it. But yeah, just I mean, some of the stuff he did in 205 Live and SmackDown was so solid. He
For sure.
he got the brush greatness by wrestling with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, he'll be fine because he's super
The
talented.
tribal chief.
Yeah.
What really blew me away about Buddy Murphy was back in NXT, he was actually not that great. And then once he got to 205 Live and ultimately the main roster, that's when he really started to steal the show on a regular basis. So I don't really know what happened in that time, but yeah,
he was a
hopefully-
tag team champion in NXT, but never. I don't think he did much singles.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully I could see him ending up in Impact. He strikes me as an Impact kind of guy. So
Yeah, I think that's a good pick.
yeah, we'll see.
Hey, real quick, I got an off the wall question. Sorry, break in the script. You know, SummerSlam's coming to Las Vegas. That was announced recently.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So they're playing the Raiders Stadium. I think it's holds 72,000.
I
How-
believe so.
How many of you guys think that they will sell that place out for SummerSlam?
That's a great question.
I don't think they're going to sell it out, man.
No.
I give them because Vegas is already a tough town anyway for selling wrestling. If they sell half, I'll be amazed. And there's
Well,
also the Pacquiao fight that weekend too
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
in the
So
same
Pa-
city.
So the
Yep.
Pacquiao fight is actually the same night.
Night, yep.
Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the plan is, from my understanding, so Dave Meltzer had mentioned this earlier today. I guess SummerSlam is scheduled to start at, I want to say 4 or 5 p.m.
Yeah, early in the
Pacific
afternoon.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their goal is to end SummerSlam about an hour before the main event of the Pacquiao fight goes on. So that way, if you're going to SummerSlam in real life and then want to walk over to the Pacquiao fight, you'll have time. Now, I don't know
That's-
who's going to do that.
That's ridiculous. That whole theory is ridiculous. Because if I bought tickets to the Pacquiao fight, I'm gonna want to be there for the pre-card, the whole freaking show. I'm not just want to go there for the main event.
Right.
I'm gonna pay hundreds, probably $1,000 for a ticket, and I'm just gonna go for the main event. That's just not even feasible, dude. You know, you'd be a fool to
Yeah.
go to both of them,
I agree.
especially SummerSlam.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Brian Alvarez may have been saying something about that. Well, yeah, him and Dave Meltzer together, but they did go into a little bit of detail and talked about how when you go to those types of fights, a lot of it, and you know, you would think, yeah, get there early, get your money's worth.
Oh yeah.
Surprisingly, a lot of people only go for the main event, which is crazy. But
Yeah,
when you
I
think
can
about
see
it a
that.
little bit, if you're going to a world title boxing match, you probably got a little bit of cash to throw around, right? So I don't know whether that means
Okay,
you can
you gotta,
afford it.
yeah, you got a little cash to throw around. So you're upper middle class. You know, you're a little bit of a high roller,
At least, yeah.
and you're gonna go to SummerSlam first. We've been to wrestling crowds. How many high rollers are gonna be able to buy tickets to both shows?
We saw David Gruber at one of them.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about it.
Wait, which show was that?
Raw.
Yeah, he goes. Yeah, I think he goes a lot of stuff at
Yeah.
at the Pfizer BOB.
Oh, wow.
It's entirely possible he'll be at AW.
Oh, I bet
following
I bet he
contest
will.
is
He
scheduled-
sponsors everything. I bet he will.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. One fall, that's all.
That's all. Yep.
Oh yeah. For all of our listeners from out of state, David Gruber is our friendly neighborhood lawyer who you know, is all over, but more kind of like the Better Call Saul of Milwaukee. So yeah,
Yes.
one fall, that's all. That's just great promotion right there.
Well
I
said.
actually I was in line, another just a quick off topic story. I was in line at Summerfest, which is a big music festival here in Milwaukee. David Gruber was in front of me in the bathroom line. And you know, it was at a big concert. There, all the urinals were full, all the stalls were full. But one of the stalls opened up, and I was like, David, one stall. That's all.
Did he like it?
Did he get pissy?
Oh yeah, he loved it.
Oh, he did. Okay.
He liked it for half a second until he almost killed you.
He's like, yes.
He gave you the look of death.
Hey man, it's his catchphrase. He's just asking for
You
us
know
to-
what? I don't know if that's even his catchphrase because I think that's some kind of. I think all those guys buy into.
National?
Yeah, because there's a guy when I visit my folks in Mississippi. There's a lawyer down there who does it.
Oh,
Really?
really?
Yeah. So I think it's a national.
Well, it's like the Shatner ones. For,
Yeah, exactly. That's
for
exactly-
QP neighbor. Like those,
That's
he does
exactly-
those exact same commercials and other like. 'cause I
every
remember
market.
I was
Yep.
in Kansas City years ago, and there was some other lawyer, and he did it was the
Same
exact same
thing,
commercial.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Really?
I think it's a national thing they must all buy into to use that line. But yep, it's not Milwaukee specific.
So
I heard
maybe
he may
those
have
of you listening.
copyrighted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard he may have copyrighted it. I heard a story one time, but I may be wrong.
Oh, maybe he came up with it, but
Yeah.
it's used all over.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe some of our listeners from
he
across.
did copyright it. I think he did copyright it, and people buy it from him to use
could-
it for
Well,
their
that would be
thing.
genius.
I
it
think
too.
that was the
Yeah,
story.
That could be it too.
Oh, he's
Maybe-
making.
Maybe some of our listeners from across this great nation could let us know if they've heard one call. That's
Well,
all
if
in
you-
their
if you-
community.
There's a link, the origins of one call. That's all. I think Gruber came up with it, but yeah, there's the origin story behind it.
Oh, if he's banking
Wow.
off of that, he's even smarter than.
Yeah. He probably has more money than this next character that we're gonna bring on the show. According to Vince, Master of Games Matt Michelson has a pretty fun game waiting for us here. I can't wait to see what he has organized. Yeah, who's bigger than Vince McMahon? Not David Gruber. Not a chance in hell.
But I like him more.
So Matt. Yeah. So Matt, tell us about this game that we're about to play.
Yeah. Thanks for the segue. So, for our longtime listeners, we tend to do games occasionally on the podcast. You may have listened to previous episodes where we guess who has certain entrance music. I think we did another game prior to that as well. They always end up being a lot of fun. So we like to throw them out there every once in a while. If you watch WWE or if you follow our podcast, or even if you're just a hardcore wrestling fan, you probably know that Vince McMahon is an eccentric human being. And what's more interesting is there's a lot of crazy trivia out there, and a lot of it just comes from Vince McMahon himself actually telling these stories or doing interviews. There's like an interview he did with Playboy, I think in 2001, that has a lot of really just unbelievable things he talks about from his childhood and upbringing, just his philosophy on life. So without further ado, we're going to get into this. We're going to go over some of these topics and we're going to have a little bit of a quiz on it. So ladies and gentlemen, this is According to Vince. And that's about the chance you guys have of guessing any of these questions right in this game. So, all right. So according to Vince, so as you may or may not know, many words in WWE are banned. What's even more strange are some of the rules that Vince has created over the years. So most of these rules are so crazy that it's hard to tell which ones are true, which ones are not true. The rules, along with Vince's eccentric, over-the-top personality, just makes for some unbelievable stories. So tonight's game, according to Vince, consists of 10 questions. So how this is going to work is I'll read each question along with 4 multiple choice answers. If you know the answer, just say your name and then what you think the answer is. You do not have to wait for me to say the answers before chiming in. So if I start reading the question, you guys are like, I don't need the choices. I already know the answer. Just say your name, tell me what you think it is, and then we can carry on with it. So
awesome.
That's really all there is to it. Do you guys have any questions before we get into it?
I do.
Yes.
What will I be winning by dominating this?
That's a great question. So I'm pretty sure this is the same prize as always, which is just more and more bragging rights. Charlie is the Mike, what do you call Charlie for winning the booking competition on this podcast?
Newly crowned champion King Booker.
So call me Booker Man.
That's right.
Booker Man.
I respect you, Booker Man.
Man, exactly. That's what I want to be.
All right. Well, Charlie, Steve, I'm sure we can come up with a similar, just as flattering title if you win tonight. So that'll be the prize. Well, I say
you know what you'll be? You'll be the official Vince Kiss My Ass Club champion.
Oh, that's so true. So not to give any spoilers, there are no questions in this quiz associated with the Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club. What I will tell you guys is that most of these questions are actually involved with Vince's personal life. So some of these are going to be really difficult, but they're unbelievable. So
you know why I'm going to dominate this? Because I listened to Bruce Pritchard's podcast, and he's told many stories about Vince.
All right, well, we'll see. I do a little reading and listening myself, Steve.
Shit.
Ooh, all right. Well, the competition's heating up. All right.
All right.
Sounds like you guys are ready.
According to Vince.
I'm ready. This is According to Vince. Question 1. And remember, just say your name the moment you know the answer. That'll be the way you can buzz in. And whoever I hear first, I'll acknowledge you. So, all right. Question number 1. Which of the following had Vince McMahon not done by the time he was in first grade? Is it drank a beer, smoked a joint, messed around with somebody, or gambled?
Mike?
Yeah, Mike?
I'm going to say gambled.
Gambled is the correct answer.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I can't remember.
Hot start.
I can't remember exactly which source this came from. But reading through it, he just sort of nonchalantly talks about these things and talks about, messing around with somebody. And again, this is like first grade. So
Jesus.
Yeah, just a strange, really cringeworthy upbringing in that regard.
Imagine smoking a joint with Vince McMahon in first grade and all of your ideas for wrestling were yours and Vince just straight ripped them off while you were high.
And 35 years later, it's called Monday Night Raw.
Some poor kid on the playground's like, you know what we should do sometime? You should get real life twin referees. And then at one point in a key match, use the twin to like job the champion out.
This is good shit. That's
Oh my God.
totally.
I can see it. All right. Okay. So the first question goes to Mike. So Mike, you are currently in the lead with 1 point. All right. Question number 2.
Super.
So Vince McMahon has stated on record that he remembers in first grade experimenting with a girl about his age. He specifically recalls a certain inanimate object being involved. What is that
Whoa.
object? Is it cake, crushed leaves, a telephone, or half-eaten cookies?
Steve,
Mike,
Steve,
go ahead.
a telephone.
a telephone is not the right answer. So Mike, Charlie, you guys are both up. Yep, Mike.
You know, just because it's Vince McMahon, I'm going to say crushed leaves.
I was gonna say.
Crushed leaves is correct. Yes.
What?
Yes. So this actually, I think this one traumatized me. I'm pretty sure when I read it, because I think this came from an interview. I want to say that he did with Playboy back in 2001. And this, I actually heard this, I believe it was on the What Culture podcast. Somebody mentioned the term crushed leaves and they all started laughing like they all knew this story. And so then they just said, if you don't know what we're talking about, just Google Vince McMahon crushed leaves. And so naturally that's what I did. And that's ultimately what led to this game being created, because once I saw that piece of trivia, I was like, there's got to be way more out here. And sure enough, there was. So that's how According to Vince was born.
Nice. So were they just like fucking around in a pile of leaves and
In first grade,
you know?
6 years old.
Yeah, that's the strange part of all this. Honestly, so I actually wrote these questions a little while back, so I don't recall the specifics around it, but I do
That's for
know
the
that,
best.
yes, basically there was some messing around. Crushed leaves were involved. I'm not sure how or where or what, but yes.
I'll never look
Maybe
at
he
fall
tried
the same.
smoking them.
I know. Next time you smell a campfire in the fall, you're going to just cringe. All right. Question number 3. So shifting gears now, according to Michael Cole, if you watched Money in the Bank 2020, you may know that Vince McMahon has a T-Rex replica hanging on the wall of his office. What you may not know is that this was a gift that was given to him. Who gave him this gift? Was it Hulk Hogan, Triple H, Linda McMahon, or Eric Bischoff?
Mike.
Charlie.
Mike, I heard you first.
Go, Charlie. You haven't had a. I'll let Charlie go first.
I'll say the Hulkster. The Hulkster.
Hulk Hogan is not right. I'm sorry.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right, I'll guess. Mike.
Okay, Mike.
I'm gonna say Eric Bischoff.
Eric Bischoff
Easy
is also incorrect. Steve. So Steve, the 2 remaining choices are Triple H or Linda McMahon.
Shit. I'm gonna go Linda McMahon.
That's right. That's a good call.
Linda McMahon is also incorrect.
What?
The correct answer is Triple H.
Triple H?
Yes. So this T-Rex head was actually used on the set of the movie The Chaperone, which Triple H starred in from WWE Studios back in the day.
Never heard of it.
Must see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally must see, right? In 2013, Vince McMahon tweeted a picture of this T-Rex skull, talking about how he loved it because it represents his voracious appetite for life and his aggressive nature. So Triple H in a whole new way. All right. So nobody got a point.
What
on
a
that
suck
one.
up too. What a suck up. But like, oh Vince, you're like a T-Rex, like, you know, like the king of the jungle, like kind of shit like that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be
Fucking
surprised
Paul
if like
Levesque,
a
what a
week
suck-up.
later NXT was born.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think I'll
no
give
shit.
you this show, kid.
All right. Okay. So Mike, you have, I believe, 2 points. Is that right?
That's
Correct.
what I'm counting.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So Mike is still in the lead. Question number 4. So we've talked about a lot of weird things about Vince. So it's well documented also that Vince McMahon's biggest enemy is sleep. According to Vince, how many hours of sleep does he average per night? Is it 2, 3,
Steve.
4, or 5? Steve.
2.
Yep.
2 hours a night is not correct.
Fuck.
Oh,
Mike,
go ahead, Mike.
I'm going to say 3.
3 is also incorrect. Charlie?
All right.
What was the other two? I forgot again.
So it's all you, Charlie. The other two answers are 4 or 5.
It's 4.
It is 4, yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I
good
knew that.
answer.
Yeah, I thought it was 2, but it's 4. Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
hate odd numbers. I only sleep in even number increments.
Damn it.
I would not be surprised by that.
It's
at all.
such good shit. It's kind of like this Shayna Baszler running from Alexa Bliss. Oh my God, this is so stupid.
Wait. Hold on. We need to interrupt according to Vince. I'm sorry. I think I
missed-
just received word for a very special announcement because it's been a while and it is now time for Charlie's Corner. Charlie,
Here we go.
what's
It's,
going on Monday Night Raw? Catch us
Monday
up.
Night Raw, it's Alexa's playground again, and she's scaring Shayna Baszler with fire. There's dropping things in the backstage area. It's haunted and spooky. This is great TV, man. This is really good stuff, man.
Must see TV.
Epitome of wrestling.
Yep, yeah, totally. Wrestling. Shayna's running all around the back. She can't get away. Lights are flashing like it's a horror. This is so stupid. This is so dumb. It's incredible. A tough MMA, legit MMA fighter, Shayna Baszler, is scared of magic. Of magic.
If running through a haunted house is pro wrestling,
The cameraman's shadow showed on the door and she went in and closed while he was still filming it. So they didn't cut it enough to cut to the other
Oh
camera angle.
God.
It's so bad, dude. I can't wait to hear LeGruck on this tomorrow, dude.
if this
Yeah.
is pro wrestling, I'm a 4-time former world champion.
It's horrible. she ran into another room where there's also she ran into 3 different rooms where there's also a cameraman in there waiting for her. So she pulls the couch and everything into to block the door. And now she's in this room and that little doll of Alexa's is showing up. This is
God.
Oh dear God.
dude, if they crack over 1.5 million this week, I'm gonna shoot somebody. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Here at Keep the Kayfabe, we do not condone violence.
No. Yeah, we don't want people coming after Charlie.
This is
Yeah,
stupid. This is ridiculous.
And
dude.
keep in mind, everybody, this is actually Monday Night Raw that Charlie's describing. And with that, this has been Charlie's Corner. And
Now-
I think that is the first time.
Hold on. She's crying. Shayna is crying of the doll because she's scared of the doll.
Maybe she just got noticed
Wow.
that she's now laid off too. Who knows? Maybe it's not the doll.
If she was crying, it was tears of joy. And that's literally how they ended Raw. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God.
Oh my
Stone
God.
Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Kurt Angle, Edge and Christian,
Yeah.
and your DX, even NWO when they bought WCW. And this is where we're at, dudes. This is
Wow.
where we're at. This is where we're at. Oh my God.
So to our listeners out there who are hearing this thinking, well, I can rant on pro wrestling, keep in mind what you're listening right now is a show within a sub show within a podcast. This isn't easy,
Mhm.
people. We
These
we
are
try and
like-
keep this thing on the rails, but you know, occasionally it's raw. So what can you do?
It's raw, yeah. Whoa, it's real raw.
It's live, baby. It's live.
All
We'll
right.
do it live. We'll do it live, damn it.
And on that note, let's return to according to Vince. So
Yep.
Mike currently has 2 points. Charlie, you now have 1 point. Question number 5. So we just talked about Vince McMahon's sleeping
Steve?
habits.
Steve
So
has 0, right?
that is
Yeah,
correct.
I
Wait,
believe
he's-
that's correct.
He's
Charlie.
new. He's new to wrestling. So.
Yeah, I'll figure this out.
so
So Question number 5. Instead of sleeping,
Oh my
Vince McMahon
God.
commonly works out late at night when he has time,
Yep.
even at 74 years old. So, that being said, which of the following WWE superstars have gone on record and expressed interest in having Vince be their workout buddy? Is it Sheamus, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, or Batista?
Shit. It's a good one. I don't know that one.
Mike,
Yes, Mike.
I'm gonna guess Sheamus.
Sheamus is correct. Yes.
Guys.
So
He needs all the help he can get as far as getting that star rub.
yeah,
I
exactly.
thought it was
Get
gonna
in
be-
the
I was-
weight
I thought
room
it
with
was-
Vince.
I thought it was going to be Seth Rollins because he's a shameless ass kisser.
Totally. Yeah. He kisses Vince's all that Fed's
Yeah.
ass.
I honestly thought the same thing. Sheamus actually has a really good YouTube channel, which is nothing but him working out with other WWE superstars, and they'll show their entire workout. You know, these episodes are almost an hour long. So I guess I wasn't totally surprised by the answer, but Steve, I agree with your logic more so that, yeah, I could see Seth Rollins doing it. Just
Do
like,
we get a point for that logic?
Yes.
tell you
No.
what, just to get you on the
No.
board, I'll give you half a point. How's
No,
that?
I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm going to beat these guys outright.
Well,
Yeah.
that's too bad because now you got it. So, Mike,
No.
you have now 3 points. Charlie has 1 point, and Steve, you are trailing with half a point. All right. Question number 6. According to Stephanie McMahon, Vince McMahon hates sneezing, and I think we all knew this.
Mhm.
But why? Is it because he's a germaphobe?
Charlie.
Charlie, go ahead.
He's a germaphobe.
A germaphobe is incorrect. Sorry.
Oh shit! I
Yes.
thought he had the Trump thing. going.
That
Go
may be
ahead.
the case, but that is not the reason
Oh,
he's
it's
sneezing,
ridiculous.
according to Stephanie.
Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
so
Yep.
so
Go
so
ahead.
again, for
Go
Mike
ahead.
and Steve, so the
Shit.
answers are because he's a germaphobe.
Shit.
He doesn't like to show weakness.
B. That's it.
That's
Steve,
it. That's
B.
it. Yep. That's
Steve
it.
B.
That's
Uh,
it. Steve's
So
on the
Steve
board.
says B doesn't like to show weakness, which is also incorrect.
What?
Yes,
That's not right.
So
I've heard that. I've heard that
What?
word said.
I've heard
Okay.
that before about him.
yes, but this is according to Stephanie. So unfortunately, that is incorrect. So Mike,
She doesn't know. She's only his daughter.
I'm going to give you all 4 answers, and you're the only one. So whatever you want to say is good.
Damn it.
So,
Damn it.
again, it's because he's a germaphobe, because he doesn't like to show weakness, because he hates the sound of sneezes, or because he can't control them.
Well, since Vince McMahon loves to control everything, I'm gonna say D because he can't
Ding
control
ding
them.
ding 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 ding.
And
ding.
you'd be correct.
Ding, ding, ding,
it is
ding,
because he
ding.
can't control them.
Yep. That's true.
Should
Yep.
have shown patience, Charlie.
Same
You didn't show
here.
patience.
Damn it. But I know he's a germaphobe because he uses hand sanitizer
Well, yeah.
a lot too.
Yes, that is true.
But
And actually,
but the number one reason, and it comes from his own blood. So I mean, you can't deny that.
Oh yeah, probably.
Definitely.
that is true. And
These
actually,
are-
Charlie, your comment about Vince using hand sanitizer, I think it was in Money in the Bank this past year when AJ Styles busts into the office and he's fighting it out, and then they leave, and then you see Vince use hand sanitizer and go back to work.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so Mike, you now have 4 points.
All right.
Yeah, so Charlie, Steve, hopefully you guys kicking into high gear here
It's
now.
over
So
now, dude.
So, question number 7. Vince stays jacked, even in his 70s, by eating well. However, there is one tasty treat he can't resist. What is it? Is it snow cones, chocolate bars, licorice, or almond joy?
Come on, boys. Just give it a whirl.
Bet you guys didn't think these were the questions you'd be getting tonight.
All right, I'll go, Mike.
Okay, Mike.
I'm gonna say snow cones gives me a brain freeze, but I like it.
And snow cones is correct.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Wow.
Mike
Damn.
is running away.
Fuck
with
you,
this.
Paul Levesque. I'm a better son than you are. I know your dad.
So I can't remember where I found this. This was in another random facts about Vince article online. And by the way, a lot of these articles do agree on everything, so I'm pretty sure one of them is actually coming from a reliable source. But this actually really caught me by surprise. Supposedly, Vince has had snow cone parties at the WWE headquarters in Stamford. It's his favorite treat, and
I love snow cones, dude.
he will cater snow cones for the
I
team.
don't blame him, dude. You get a good snow cone, dude. You can't
love them.
Oh, I love them with a passion, dude.
Really?
Oh, hardcore, dude. I love snow cones as a kid, and I'll even till this day if I'm at a festival it's hot, I'll snag one, dude. They're really good. I love
My
me some
buddy
snow cones, dude.
My buddy owns Hawaiian shaved ice.
Oh, does he?
Hit that
Those
up
are
at
good.
Summerfest?
Yep. Yeah, I've hit those up. Yep. Those are good. Yep.
Shout out to Hawaiian shaved ice.
Nice.
Awesome.
Free advertising.
Well, now I know what to get you for your birthday, Charlie.
The snow cone machine.
Snoopy snow cone machine.
Slush puppies.
Next year. Oh, love
Slush
puppies, dude. I used to love when we'd go on a family trip every year. We'd stop at a gas station and slush puppy. We'd always get the slush puppies, brother. I'd love it.
Oh,
I'd
baby.
love it. We'd drive down to Mississippi. I'd mix them up. Yep.
You do the blend of the red and the blue and all that.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I love some slush puppies. That was my favorite. I should look and see if I can buy a slush puppy machine. What about my fantasies from a kid? Look, I'm looking up on Amazon right now. Damn it.
Jeez, I feel like we have Vince here on the podcast with us. All right. So Mike at this point is running away with the game.
Vince is right here with us. Slush puppy machine.
By the end of this, Charlie's going to have bought one off Amazon. All right.
$70.
It's cheap.
Really?
Plus $15 shipping.
Still cheap.
All right. We may have to put a link to that on
now.
our Instagram post, although we're not asking for any monetization from Slush Puppies. We just love the idea of it. All right. Question number 8. Moving on. Triple H has told a story in past documentaries about Vince McMahon's competitive side. In one story, Vince loses a game of pool to Stephanie McMahon. How does he react to losing? Does he laugh uncontrollably, punch Triple H in the face, scream in a fit of rage, or ask Triple H to have sex with Stephanie in front of him while he watches?
I'm gonna go.
God.
Yeah, Charlie, what do you think?
Charlie?
He's frozen with the slush puppies.
Oh no, maybe he had a brain freeze or a screen freeze in this case. That joke really fell flat. All right, so Charlie is DQ'd, it feels like, or we might have to count him out. So Mike and Steve, do you guys want me to read the answers again?
Well, I'll guess. I'm gonna just say D because it's so morbid and disgusting, and that's Vince's style. So have sex in front of him. Paul Levesque, Triple H, and Stephanie having sex in front of him.
Triple H and Stephanie in front of Vince while he watches.
I said D. Is that the answer?
Oh, yeah.
I did say D.
back.
I did say D before I left.
Yeah,
Is that the answer?
Time out. Charlie just jumped in to say D.
I did say D before it was.
I trust him.
So-
I trust him.
So Charlie,
Right when it
before-
got cut.
no, I know,
What's that?
but right before your connection got dropped, Mike jumped in and said, "I'm going to go with the last one," and I was seriously about to say whether or not it was correct, and then you jumped back in. So
Yeah.
I'm going to allow you to guess this one. So Triple H and Stephanie in front of him while he watches
Yeah, I'm going with D.
is
It's 'cause it's so off-
incorrect.
So it's off. It's so off the wall.
Incorrect.
It's so off the wall that I'm so far out of this game anyway. So I figured, why not?
Well, now you're even further out because that is incorrect, unfortunately.
Damn it!
Damn.
Damn it, Triple H!
Oh man. right.
Steve,
Okay, Steve. Yeah, what do you
punch
think?
Triple H in the face.
Punching Triple H is also incorrect. Sorry.
Okay, well,
All right.
What about punching him in the balls?
Unfortunately, not an
All right.
option in this case. So Mike, the two remaining answers are he laughs uncontrollably or screams in a fit of rage.
All right. Well, this is kind of opposite sides of the spectrum. So I'm just gonna go with doesn't seem likely when you lose is laugh uncontrollably.
Laugh uncontrollably is also incorrect. The correct answer was
Oh.
screams in a fit of rage. That one was almost so obvious it wasn't.
Yeah, right. It's kind of like Ron Burgundy, just like I'm in a glass case of emotion. There's Vince McMahon just screaming like ah in the bar somewhere after a pool game.
Yeah,
What a psycho.
I
His
think the
daughter.
if I remember right, the full story was I think he walked off down the hall and was just screaming like obscenities the whole way walking away. All right.
Nice.
Okay, question
love to see
9.
that.
So this one's a little bit different. This one we're going to do Price is Right rules, and I'll explain why in a second. So even though Vince is well into his 70s, his mother is still alive and kicking.
Wow.
But how
I didn't know that.
But how old is she? So
Holy shit.
basically each of you guys, and I'll call you out and take your answers here in a second, but we're going to do Price is Right rules. So basically you're going to have to guess a number between 90 and 110 without going over. So if you guess the exact
No
number,
cheating.
so
Hands
and here's
up.
the other
Nobody's
thing.
Googling this.
Here's the other thing. Now, given the discrepancy in points right now, if you guess the exact number, I'll give you guys 5 points. So this will give Steve and Charlie a chance to catch up if you guys need it. So, all right.
All right.
So Mike, I'll start with you. Pick a number between 90 and 110.
All right.
And
Well,
remember,
if
you
I'm
can't go
going
over.
by his mom's sexual activity, the way that Vince had his young sexual activity at first grade, I'm thinking she's below 100. So I'm going to say Wayne Gretzky, 99, baby.
99. Okay. So Mike answers with 99. Steve, what do you think?
98.
98. Okay. You realize this is Price is Right rules, right? So Mike's answer of 99 is probably going to eclipse anything.
No, not if 98's the answer.
That is true. Okay, fair enough.
But since you asked me that, I know that's not the answer then probably. Charlie.
95.
95. All right. So Mike answered with 99. Steve, you had 98. Charlie had 95. The correct answer, Vince McMahon's mom, is 101 years old.
Holy
So
shit.
Mike again answers correctly.
I mean, give me a Ric Flair robe with Vince's face rhinestone on the back of it.
The anus.
Man, I'm Mr. Perfect at this game.
Wow.
I'm not even playing this game, and even I'm just sitting here like, all right, and another one goes to Mike. All right, cool.
I'd rather win AEW pay-per-view pick'ems. You can tell by your picks that you do that you focus on Vince a lot in the WWE.
Whoa, there you go.
Yeah.
So
All right.
you should you should win this.
I wanna win something by the end of our run.
All right. Okay, well, tell you what. That all being said, so Mike, I believe after that last answer, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you have 9 points. Does that
Wow.
sound
I
accurate?
guess.
Okay.
I mean, does it even matter?
Well, it's going to in a second because I'm going to call an audible here. So number 10 is worth 10 points. So this question can go really to anybody in this case. So,
Well, fuck me.
all right. So number 10 for the win in this case. Many of Vince's quirks come from experiences that he still carries with him from his childhood, I think is what I'm saying.
Private trailer.
Which of the following terms has Vince McMahon banned for any wrestler from having as part of their name in WWE? And I'll give you the terms now. So you can't have these terms as part of your wrestling name, right? So is the term Daddy-O, Junior, Kid, or Boy?
Steve.
Steve, go ahead.
Daddy-O.
Daddy-O is incorrect. Sorry.
So wait, hold on.
What was the choice? You already said Daddy. What's the choice?
Because I thought of wrestlers with I thought all the other 3 other names.
Well,
What
and
are
he
the- what are the
also
kids?
hates. or-
What are the
Never-
names again?
Never mind.
So the
Oh, I
answer
know
is
what it is. I know what it is.
Okay, Charlie.
Junior.
Junior
Yep.
is correct.
Yeah, damn it.
Because he's a junior.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
I thought I thought for a second there was like the other two, boy and kid. There's wrestlers, Davey Boy, Dynamite
exactly.
Kid,
The Tongan kid.
Yeah, there's no junior, is there?
Yeah.
No.
So the story behind this is
Rey
exactly what
Mysterio
you said,
Jr.
Charlie.
They took it away.
Yeah. Well, exactly. They took
Is
the
this
term
Rey
junior
Mysterio?
away
He's
from
Rey
his
Mysterio.
name. Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Ted DiBiase Jr., they just called him Ted DiBiase. And
That's
now,
right.
And now Senior is just called the $1 Million Man.
Yep.
And I think the
What a
one other
weirdo.
example I saw,
Dynamite
shoot, I
Kid.
can't remember what it was, but Charlie, you're correct. It's because Vince McMahon is a junior, and you notice he never refers to himself as Vince McMahon Jr. It's always
he
Vincent
has
K.
dad.
McMahon.
Yeah, he has dad issues. Yep.
Yeah, 100%. So with that special stipulation at the
Ding,
end,
ding, ding.
Charlie is tonight's winner,
Ding.
according to Vince.
Wow, it's the Milwaukee
Montreal
screw job.
screw job.
It's the Milwaukee screw job.
Mike is just shocked.
Mike, you have to spit at him right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a loogie on a rope sent to Matt Michelson's face.
Well-
To Earl Hebner.
Well, Mike, I'm sorry to tell you, but given the rules and the way things change, you had no chance.
Where was my big push?
There's
You have to, Mike, pretend I'm Shawn Michaels, and you got to ask me if I knew about this.
I just Hulk Hogan's you,
Yeah.
man. I just Yokozuna you and Hulk Hogan you at the end of the match, dude. You can't have that kid
I
as a
just got the
champion,
stink.
dude.
I feel like I got stink faced by Rikishi right now.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, after he had like
Indian food.
We need a black champion.
yeah.
And with that, this has been according to Vince.
Dun,
Wow.
dun, dun.
And it'll go
Good
on.
stuff.
It'll live on in infamy.
Mike is the winner of the
people's
most
champion.
Yeah, the people's champ. That'll kick in the butt or get you a kick in the butt.
I feel like I booked this like Randy Orton taking the title from Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam when he won it and then immediately lost it.
Yep. And that's the same with Rollins, did it to Reigns too.
Yeah.
Cast the Money in the Bank in on him because they knew Reigns was going to get booed.
Right.
Well,
that was a really fun game. Matt, you are very, very talented.
Oh, totally talented, dude. Totally
games
talented,
together.
dude.
The randomness really threw off the rest of these guys, really threw them off the scent. I mean, some people knew where the real answers were. But yeah. And speaking of scent, it's time for a promo of the week. This one comes from Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, my man.
This one comes from Jeremiah all the way out in sunny California, and he is a big Hart Foundation fan. He submitted this with the Anvil, Greg Neidhart, and Bret the Hitman Hart. I don't know who this announcer is.
The Anvil Neidhart. You called him Greg.
Did I say Greg?
Yeah.
All right. Anvils and hammers are very similar. You use the two. So my brain is getting a little crossed here.
Quick shout out to Greg the Hammer Valentine, friend of the channel.
Yeah, thanks, Greg, for listening. I love you, dude. Okay, Jim the Anvil Neidhart with Bret the Hitman Hart, the Hart Foundation, giving their best promo, and a very colorful one at that, with some announcer. I don't know who it is, but let's go ahead and take a listen.
Into any other topics, just exactly, Anvil, what kind of research are you involved in at the Hart Foundation?
Well, I'll tell you something, Ivy League. At the foundation, Jimmy Hart has set aside many, many rooms for many, many different purposes. We got a high-flying room so the Hart Foundation can keep up with all the high flyers. We got a weight room. We have one heck of a secretary who's very, very efficient.
And we got a psychiatrist who analyzes and comes up with what's in the minds of our opponents. We have an advantage all the time because we know what they're thinking before they think it.
Well, speaking of your opponents, I would imagine foremost on your mind, Anvil, and of course Bret the Hitman's would be the tag team champions, the British Bulldogs.
You're always asking us questions. Always asking us questions. Well, let me ask you a question, all right?
Be my guest.
What exactly
is a female dog.
Answer that one, Brett.
Well, it's called a bitch is the term.
A what?
The terminology is a bitch. We're referring to a female dog.
That's the Bulldog's new manager.
It's bad enough. It's bad enough that you gotta take orders from a dog, but you gotta take orders from a bitch.
Boy, they're really using their brains, aren't they? They should have a foundation of their own.
Does she got a little tiny belt she wears around too?
Gorilla, what can I say? We'll be back with more great primetime action right after this.
Wow, were those guys creative on using colorful language on TV and getting away with it. True masters of manipulation of the microphone. Wouldn't you say, boys?
Yeah, well, colorful with their words and also with their outfits. Those pink leotards, man, just never get old.
Yeah, I mean, it's good timing to select that one, given that the Bret Hart biography was this past weekend. So, yeah.
Really? I didn't watch it yet.
I haven't either.
That's on my DVR. That'll be good. Nice. Well, awesome. Thank you, Jeremiah, for submitting that promo. That one was a great one. Keep them coming, everybody. If you want to hear your favorite promo on Keep the Kayfabe, you can submit it to Keep the Kayfabe at Instagram and Facebook. Send us your pics. And boys, wow, this was a really, really, really fun show. I had like a really rough day. I actually thought I was going to lose some fingers today when I was doing the gardening. I was trimming the hedges, and my hedge clippers got away from me, and I almost lost 2 fingers. I was really worried, shook up about it, but I didn't need the 2 fingers because I only need 3 fingers. I have all of them, but I was like, you know what, Mike, don't sweat it. You just need 3 fingers to remember what to do this week. Stay humble, stay hungry, and stay hard.
Triple H! Woo! Triple H!
Woo! Awesome. Adios.
Peace.
Peace.